So, I've been watching Arrow for a while now, and I'm gonna try my best to explain to you how much this show sucks. But before I do that, I just want to tell you that this is my opinion, and I mean no disrespect to the cast of Arrow. I just want to make an honest review. First off, let me explain to you what Arrow is all about. Arrow is based on Oliver Queen, aka the Arrow. So Oliver Queen gets back home to Starling City from an island where he was trapped for 5 years. During that time, he learned how to survive and went through ordeals that transforms him to this macho, man of few words kind of guy. After he gets back home to Starling City, he decides to use the skills he acquired in the island to take down bad guys in order to make his city a better place. He then gets identified as the Arrow. Now let's talk about the cast. A little warning though, this review will have spoilers, so beware. Oliver Queen is played by Stephen Amell. I'm just gonna be honest here and say that he's one boring guy. He has no compelling attribute that makes us want to see more of him. Okay, you can argue that Oliver Queen has gone through hell for 5 whole years, and that's what makes him so damn boring, because he's dying in the inside. I'm gonna tell you right now that that is no excuse. He's not the only hero who's gone through hell. Superman lost his home planet, along with his people. A far greater loss if you ask me. But that did not turn him into this guy. Plus, in the comics and the animated DC movies and TV series, Green Arrow has a sense of humor. He's actually really goofy. Next up, we got Katie Cassidy, who plays Black Canary, aka Laura Lance. This character makes no sense to me. I'm going to explain why later. Let's take a look at Thea Queen, played by Rilla Holland. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but she's a terrible actress. An actor or actress is meant to give a performance that's meant to make us forget we're watching a movie or a TV show. But that's not the case with Rilla Holland. Her emotions in the show are forced. And that's just a complete turnoff that makes the show that much worse. Now let's talk about a character who's actually worth talking about. Felicity Smoke, played by Emily Rickards. Felicity Smoke is awesome. Emily Rickards managed to convince me that Felicity Smoke is a smart and resourceful girl. Plus, she's hilarious and she's pretty hot. Another interesting character that's worth talking about is Ray Palmer, played by Brandon Routh. Ray Palmer is like a male version of Felicity Smoke. He pulls off the young, nerdy billionaire role pretty well. John Barrowman plays Malcolm Merlin. Malcolm Merlin was a pretty cool villain in season 1, but I never really got intrigued by him after the first season. So the next actors and the roles they play are really not that interesting to me because they have no attributes that make me want to see more of them. I don't want to spend any more time talking about them because it's going to make this video longer than I intended to be. So I'm just going to mention them real quick. Colton Haynes plays Ray Harper, aka Oliver Queen's sidekick. David Ramsey plays John Daigle, who's kinda the Arrow's other sidekick. Paul Blackthorne plays Detective Quentin Lance. Really lame character, nothing interesting about him. Colin Donnell plays Tommy Merlin, nothing interesting about him either. And finally, we got Susan Thompson, who plays Oliver Queen's mom, Murray Queen. Besides Emily Rickards and Brandon Routh, the rest of Arrow's cast is just horrible. The show obviously has a good concept because Oliver Queen's story is kick-ass. What makes this show so horrible is its cast and its execution. Let's take the fight scenes for instance. Oliver Queen is meant to be an awesome fighter, but Stephen Amell's fight scenes suck. He just can't pull off a decent fight scene. The Arrow never does anything impressive like a cool acrobatic move or something like that. Instead, he just takes down his enemies with basic hand-to-hand combat. So something about this show that's really ridiculous is this character right here, Laura Lance. Okay, what doesn't make sense is that Katie Cassidy is Black Canary. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. Katie Cassidy is like the worst possible choice for Black Canary. It doesn't make any sense at all. So Laura Lance decides to go learn kickboxing, and after a couple of days of training, she decides she's ready to go out in the middle of the night to go crime fighting. And here's where it gets ludicrous. I have seen Laura Lance single-handedly take down two grown-ass men. That just tells us that what the Arrow does isn't that hard. All you need to do is learn kickboxing for a couple of days and you're ready to do what he does. Something else that really bothers me about this show are the villains. They are not intimidating at all. They don't feel like real threats. Malcolm Merlyn, however, did a good job of playing the main villain in season 1. But every other villain after that sucks. Let's take Ra's al Ghul for instance, who's played by Matt Nable. Ra's al Ghul's meant to be this dangerous presence in the DC universe. But the Ra's al Ghul in Arrow is just not intimidating at all. Plus he talks too much and does things Ra's al Ghul would never do in a million years. IMDb gave this show an 8.2 out of 10, but I'm going to give it what it deserves, and that's a 6 out of 10. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this review. If you agree or disagree with me, please let me know in the comments. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Arigato and sayonara.